Warning, the following contains material that may be too disturbing to some people. Descriptions of violence, mature situations, and adult themes. This is intended for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Howdy, folks. How's everybody doing? Welcome to Force Flesh. We're playing some Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition for you guys, and I got a bunch of my friends here hanging out with us today. I know it's we skipped last week. I think it's only been one off week. I don't know. I might be mistaken. It's been a crazy couple weeks here. We've got a new camera angle. You might notice. My beard hairs are looking extra fine. I hope you're all doing great. I guess let's do our thing. We'll go around the table. We'll introduce everybody. We will talk a little bit about where you guys are, what's going on in the campaign right now, and then we'll jump in. So we will start with the same person. Well, the two people that we always start with here. Ferdisofly playing Abelona and Florentine, the Diviners, for you guys. Ferdy, how are things?
Things are good with Abe and Flo. Right now they're in flow form. We just killed like some monsters with chains as slaves or something, or like their allies.
Yeah, you killed some demons. You killed some demons.
And Frosty one.
Yeah, it was a
locust thing.
There was a chain devil, bone devil, and ice devil. I think that was it. Yeah, but you guys did a good job. You guys wiped the floor with them. So good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you, Ferdy. Up next, we've got Mori playing Lucero, who has some new character art. How's it going, Mori?
It's going pretty good. Didn't expect my hammer to work down here, but turns out it does.
Yeah. You got to them. You claimed 2 souls for the sun.
For somebody.
Yeah. Good job. 2 KBs in that fight certainly is a good thing. You're stepping up your game for sure. Thank you.
I mean, the Wolfman's not here to do it, so somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
Taking all the kills.
Yeah, someone has to smite these demons. So for sure, good job. Thank you.
Also, still got a little bit of shopping to do, so gave Marred my vial to go pawn off.
All the shopping. No worries.
All the shopping.
No worries. We got there's plenty of interesting vendors here for you to talk to. I guess you can always go back to the Veiled Alchemist too. You guys seem to like that guy. So
I don't think he has what I need.
Yeah.
As much as I would appreciate it.
I think you got to turn in your quest. Did you guys didn't get payment up front, right? Like it was supposed to be there.
No.
Yeah, it was supposed to be there when you came back, I think. So at least you got to pick up your echoes of the void, the currency that you're using here. But we'll get to that.
And my poison.
And your poison.
And the wife's poison.
All right. Well, thank you, Lucero. Up next, we have Kyo playing Quartz for you guys. Kyo, how is Quartz?
Quartz is good. She cursed one of the monsters, the demons, with laziness, and it was fun.
Fun.
I'm glad
It
you
was
enjoyed
great.
that. It was the ice one,
wonderful.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the strongest of the 3 by far. Yeah, no
She
problem.
pointed at it, told it was lazy, and then she walked away and had everyone else kill it for her.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
quick fights.
you feel like there's some kind of fate controlling force out there that's got it in for you now.
Luce is starting to sense just a bit of a pattern with Quartz's fighting style here.
Yeah, some sort
Just a
of
smidge.
master of this game that you theoretically might be playing, metaphorically.
Ooh, I love metaphors.
might not pull any punches when it comes to future encounters. I don't know.
Yes.
I'm just messing with you. Be scared, okay? Yeah. Thank you, Kyo. Up next, we got Ella playing Maki-e for you guys. Ella, how's it going?
I'm good.
Good.
I just killed some stuff with the help of my friends. They're not really my friends. I'm just here to watch them.
Wow.
Not really your friends. All right. Well, that's good to know. I'm sure they will be happy to learn that. Yeah, you did get to kill some stuff, so good job. You also get to test a poison here in a minute.
I've been testing a poison, and I look forward to getting
Didn't
more
work.
of this stuff. Because, actually, you're right, it didn't work.
Yeah.
That means that maybe I was given some bad poison.
Yeah, we'll see, I guess.
I'm gonna have to bring this up with Quartz-san later.
Good luck, Quartz. You have fun with that. You're on your own.
No problem.
All right. Well, thank you, Maki-e. And last but not least, we got Zach playing Candor for you guys. Zach, how is Candor?
Hi, I also insulted a person to death.
Yep. The best bully in the group.
It's like, no, I've heard you're lazy. Go away.
Dies.
And
of
then he did
embarrassment.
forever.
Yeah. Good job. So, I guess we'll jump right in. So, let's talk about sort of like what led up to this. So, you guys have found yourself through circumstance in the void. You were investigating a strange arcana in heaven, one that nobody seemed to know about, which is quite odd. And somehow you found yourself here. Don't remember exactly
And
how you
when
got
we
here.
think about them, our noses bleed.
Yes.
I was about to say, we don't just not know about it. We actively don't know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only one of you who has a little bit of information was Maki-e, who joined you later. And you've sort of been trying to get your bearing here in the void. Maybe some of you think this is the district. I don't know. I think for the most part, you guys have figured out that you're in the void, that you're in the place of demons and stuff. And yeah, you've been
Home sweet home.
I think this is heaven, though.
Yeah, some of you really enjoy it here and would love to stay. Some of you are just sort of getting your bearings, finding things to keep you busy, biding your time, trying to find a way to get back, because things are not very good in heaven. I mean, it was already on the verge of bad stuff happening when you left. There's no telling what's gone down at this point. So I guess we'll jump in there. You guys had talked to this merchant in the pit called the Veiled Alchemist, and you ended up getting a little quest to test out this poison on some nearby demons. And you did. Well, you're about to. You went into their warren, you killed the demons, and you were about to loot the place and test out this poison, if I recall. Hang on. I got to update Lucero's token on this page because I didn't do it on this page. Where? Here we go. Okay, and it's giant for some reason.
First I was tiny, now I'm big.
you go. Okay. Should be fixed. Yeah, so you guys had just taken out these demons. You're going to loot the place. You're going to check for see what this poison does, I guess. I think you were going to clear the rest of them out before you set off the poison, if I recall, Maki-e, which is probably a smart decision. But we'll pick up there, just at the end of the fight. What are you all doing?
Good question.
I think Maki-e is looking around for more enemies or loot or both.
More enemies or loot or both. Looking around, you say make a perception check.
Got to open my sheet for a second. Perception. My passive is 20.
Okay.
And then if I actively roll.
All right, you almost got a 20 there. Not a natural 20. So that's a shame. Okay. Well, looking around, and just sort of what you've seen of the place so far, there's quite a bit of bones and stuff scattered around the warren, where former victims met their end. Most of them do not look human or humanoid, really. Most of them look rather demonically influenced. Bits of skulls, lots of parts of a body, but not really full bodies anywhere. Most of them are gnawed on with teeth marks and stuff.
Why?
The other thing you notice is the sort of cubby hole. There's sort of like a coldness in the air that seems to be emanating from like the cubby hole where the ice devil came from. You don't really get much more than that. They weren't carrying anything on them. They don't have pockets per se.
Well, 2 of them are gone completely.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. I guess that's yeah. Two of them got disintegrated. Yeah, the bone devil that remains doesn't carry gear. I don't think. Let me see. Let me check his sheet. Yeah. He doesn't even carry weapons or anything. He just uses his claws and stuff. The ice devil that you were fighting did have a spear, if I recall, but that too is gone, I think.
I remember you saying it went away.
Yeah. The only place you haven't checked directly is like the cubby hole that the ice devil, the bug one, crawled out of.
Is that the one straight north?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you approach the cubby hole, and it's small, but so are you. Like he was squeezing through it, like an ant coming out of an ant hill.
I feel like he was fairly big.
Yeah, he was big. Yeah.
I am a small creature.
That's what I'm saying. You're not gonna have any problem entering this.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. It also gets bigger on the other side, like a room, and there's quite a lot of stuff in there. When you peek your head in, make a wisdom save. All right.
There you go.
So you hear these faint whispers in the room when you look in, almost like just before your eyes like across the boundary, almost like you can hear people talking to each other in there. It's very faint. You can't really understand what they're saying, but you get the sense that it's almost like they hear you coming, because they sort of like shush each other just before you look into the room. When you look into the room, you see this this sort of like cold frost, like steam, kind of hanging in the air over the whole room. There is a large chest on one side of the room that's like, it looks frozen, like it looks like it's made out of like blue metal, and it's literally frozen solid, with like bits of ice hanging off of the corners and stuff. And it's quite a large chest, like think like a chest or drawers chest. So on a person, it'd probably come up to at least their knees and be 3-4 feet wide. And you can see like frost steam coming off of it looking at it. Like it's much colder than anything else in the room, just by the side of it. And stuffed in various, the room's kind of round, and stuffed in various like crevices, because the ceiling sort of domes down to meet the floors. There's not really like walls. It's kind of like just a round ceiling that meets the floor, and sort of like wedged in a lot of these crevices is just bones and like frozen tissue, and random bits of like frozen meat. It doesn't put off a smell, you notice, mostly because of the cold. Like everything in the room kind of seems like flash frozen.
Smells like frostbite.
Yeah. And it is quite cold in there. Like you would notice a temperature drop as soon as you like cross the threshold.
Yeah. I'm gonna back out of that and look for a companion. I see Abe and Flo, and do not ask them to come check it out. Instead, I keep moving until I see Quartz. And I will say, Quartz-san, can you use fire?
Can I use fire? What does that mean?
Well, that room back there is full of cold, and I wanted to warm it up a little.
I do not have access to fire. Doesn't Lucero?
I don't see him. I saw you first. She'll just walk by. Go to find Lucero.
I'll follow.
As soon as she sees Lucero, she's gonna call him over. Lucero, we need your fire.
What's going on?
I found a cold room. Oh, and there's a chest in there.
A chest, you say? What kind of chest?
Okay.
A cold one. There was also some voices. I hope you can ignore those. And she just
Voices?
leaves them.
By the way, I think, if I remember correctly, I still have Pass Without Trace still active.
Yeah, I think you do. Yeah.
So if they're around me, I think they have that.
Yeah. Still in effect for sure.
Well, this time as we walk up, the voices can't hear us coming.
Yeah. When the other two approach the room, make wisdom saves.
I was about to say, don't we still have advantage? Quartz!
I think you guys do
Maki-e,
because we haven't
Maki-e,
rested.
you don't have to roll again.
Okay.
You're fine.
Yeah. I think we still have Hero's Feast, right?
Yeah, 13.
Okay, it's a 13. It's not a critical fail.
Mm-hmm.
Lucero rolled in private,
Good better.
but
Oops.
got a 14.
Got a 14.
Okay. So here's what happens. The two of you fail. Maki-e, you don't hear anything this time when you approach the room. However, the other two, you both hear something. I will, it is a voice or voices. I'll let you decide exactly what you hear, but whatever it is, it compels you to go ahead.
Can I ask if this, because I still have this effect on me, does this
Willing creature touches immune to psychic damage, any effect that would sense its emotions or read its thoughts in the charmed condition. Yeah, you're immune, so you're fine.
Okay.
You're
Only
immune.
Lucero that.
You're basically immune to charmed while that's on you, so yeah, this doesn't affect you. You'll get the same sort of thing that Maki-e got the first time, where you can hear whispering, like people are talking to each other, but you can't quite understand what they're saying. And as soon as you get close, you almost get the sense that they perhaps like shush each other, like I'll suddenly go silent before you would see where they are. And it's kind of like the sense of like you hear somebody talking in a room, and as soon as you walk in, there's nobody there. So it's kind of like an off-putting feeling.
Gotcha.
Lucero.
But for Lucero,
You don't have anything that makes you immune to charmed, do you, Lucero? No. Okay.
If I did, it would have helped me with the facelessness thing too.
Okay. So, so you hear a voice in the room that compels you to go into the room and open the chest. Again, you can kind of decide what the voice is, but I feel like I have a good idea for what the voice is now, actually. If it's the voice of Maki-e, do you think that might make sense? Saying that she's trapped, that something trapped her and is wearing her face. And it's her coming from inside the chest. And you can see the chest like rattling, like something's trying to get out.
I know what would make Luth act. Then it wouldn't be Maki-e's voice. It would be a voice very similar to hers, though.
Okay.
It would be the one child that was very close to Luce.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So you hear this kid's voice coming from the chest.
They help me.
Yeah. Luce, without a second thought, would like scramble in there.
Yeah. So Lucero immediately like charges into the room. What are the other two doing?
I am gonna grab. Can I try and grab him
Yeah, it'd be grapple.
forward and grab him to like stop him? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't think Lucero's listening to you. Like, Lucero's attention is on that chest, and they're going for it. So if you're wanting to stop them, you're gonna have to grapple them. You're gonna have to grab hold of them and force them to stop.
I'm gonna kick at him then to get him to stop.
Kick at him? Is that what you said?
I'm gonna try and get him to stop by knocking him over.
Okay, make an attack
With a
roll.
non-lethal attack.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
It's a critical failure.
so it's lethal. It's a lethal attack.
The desperation makes her hesitate.
Yeah, or you like, yeah, the the desperation or the sort of insanity of the moment like makes you panic or hesitate. Either you like punch like a very secure point on Lucero's armor, or you like miss and hit the wall. Either way, roll damage on yourself.
Oh, nice. I rolled the lowest damage.
All right, so you take 5 bludgeoning damage as you like.
All right.
As you feel like. Yeah, you just punched
the
something
last
hard.
time he stopped like responding to me after I said after there was like voices or anything of the sort. We ended up following him into a trap. So
It was
Maki-e was Maki-e was just trying to
Yeah, that
to stop
tracks.
that.
Okay.
Is Quartz gonna do anything?
Right? I mean, can I insight check to see what happened to Lucero?
Yeah, make an insight check. Okay. I don't think Lucero's like trying to hide anything by any means. But you definitely see something come over Lucero. You probably feel a magical effect attempt to take hold of you and shake it off. And you see like Lucero's face change, their emotion on their face change very suddenly to very serious, completely 100% focused on this chest in the room and just making a beeline toward it as quickly as possible. Yeah, you would notice that something is up about Lucero's demeanor. Whether you would know that they're charmed per se, I mean, you can probably put 2 and 2 together. It's very reasonable that you would assume something is magically compelling Lucero to enter the room.
If I get in Lucero's way, like move a little closer to her, like in front of her, what does Lucero do?
If you try to like block the way,
Yeah.
it's gonna move right around you, like probably even like kind of push you out of the way, not to hurt you, but just to like get to the chests.
Can I try grappling, like taking Lucero's hand?
Yeah, you can make a grapple. Would be what your strength versus Lucero's strength.
Athletics versus.
Yeah, athletics or acrobatics. Yeah. Whichever's higher for you, Lucero.
Yeah, I'm not that strong, but.
It's just normal, not
So you rolled
advantage,
well.
right?
You rolled a 19.
19.
More.
Good roll. Lucero rolls an 11. So, yeah, you stand in front of Lucero, try to block them. Lucero, like, kind of like half-heartedly pulls up like a forearm to sort of like move you out of the way. And you grab hold of Lucero's arm, maybe the other one too. And yeah, you're holding them, blocking their way. Lucero tries to like struggle against you, maybe briefly like pulls one hand free, but you grab it again quickly by the wrist. Yeah, Lucero's not going anywhere.
Lucero, what's wrong with you? You're acting strange. Did you hear those whispers?
You can speak if
He's
you
in the box.
Who's in the box?
Maki-e, she's in the box.
In the box.
Who again is in the box?
What's going on?
Fuyo's in the box.
Yeah, the diviners show up like, what's happening?
You said Puyo? What did you say?
Fuyo.
Fuyo? Who is Fuyo?
Our daughter. She's in the box.
Quartz looks at Maki-e. And she's like, what? Like, any idea?
You should save them. If they're in the box, save your daughter.
I don't hear anything from the box. And I have better hearing than he does.
Maybe we should take a look at the box first. What do you think, Maki-e?
Yes. But first, we should warm up the room. I mean, if she is in there, then we should warm up the room for her first.
Lucero, there's not time. Like, you got to get to that chest now.
There's no time. We can warm it up after.
You could warm it up as you walk.
Do you need a torch? I have a torch.
Can you light
If
the torch?
Maki-e wasn't wearing her mask, she'd be eyeing you suspiciously.
I hand the torch to Quartz. It's like you can pass it to them.
Is it lit or is it just like a torch?
Lucero, every second you're wasting talking to them is another second.
I try to break the grapple.
Yeah. Use
As
your action. Try to break the
Acrobatics again.
Yeah. Another contested check. Okay, yeah, you break free. You slip your hand out of Quartz's grip, and that's your action on this turn. The other two also have an action. The diviners also. They're there.
I will use my 3rd level spell slot to cast
Calm
Calm
Emotions.
on Lucero.
Yeah.
I lose passive trace.
Okay. Creature can choose to fail if it wishes. If a creature fails, one of the following 2 effects: you suppress effect causing the target to be charmed or frightened. When the spell ends, suppressed effect resumes. Okay. And it lasts for up to 1 minute. Okay. Lucero, do you choose to fail?
Would the charm allow me to choose? Would the effect allow me to choose?
I mean, that is a very fair question, and I do appreciate you not metagaming this. So, theoretically, the charm would be compelling you to not allow someone else to cast a spell on you. Like, they're trying to stop you from what the charm is compelling you to do. Clearly, they stood in your way, they grappled you. Yeah. So theoretically, with the charm taking hold on your mind right now, you would be resisting this. Yeah.
Well, also in character, because they think it is their daughter in the chest, I also felt like, but
Okay, all right. Well, you still failed.
Yeah.
All right. So
But,
the charm.
I wanted to check first.
Yeah, the charm fades, and you sort of like come to your senses. The sort of urgency of getting to that chest leaves you, and you sort of kind of realize that that something was compelling you. Something was there was a magical effect on you, and it's suppressed for the time being.
How are you feeling,
Hello.
Lucero?
Well, I'm pretty sure if it wasn't for the spell, a little pissed off. But,
You're
you know, with the spell, I can't feel that right now, so. Okay.
You're pissed off
What?
at who?
Uh, area? Probably gonna have to do a little bit of investigation to figure out what exactly caused the effect.
Well, I suppose if anyone can do it, that would be you.
Also, kind of don't want to stay in the area to continue to be affected by it.
Are you not
Do
gonna
you-
save your daughter?
Just warm up the room, melt the ice off of that chest, and I'll take care of it.
Child. You and I will be speaking later on your actions. Very much.
Sorry, who was
Let's
that?
see. What have I got? We'll do. Will Scorching Ray work?
I mean, Scorching Ray would definitely singe a target and heat it up. There's all sorts of things you could do here if your goal is to heat up the room. You could simply like create a bonfire in the room. You could heat metal on the chest. There's a lot of things you could do. Scorching Ray would like you get several points. I think that you can basically shoot with a Scorching Ray. So you'd like heat up those points. You do a lot of damage, fire damage to those points.
I guess I could do create bonfire.
Yeah, you can create a bonfire in the room if you want to do that.
I will need to do an Arcana check, basically, as long as I don't get a 1, we're okay. Okay. It's always like how terrifying.
Yeah. Create bonfire. You create a bonfire on the ground. Concentration up to 1 minute. Until the spell ends, magic bonfire fills a 5-foot cube. Any creature in the bonfire space when you cast a spell must succeed on a dex save or take damage. A creature must also make the save when it moves into the bonfire space for the first time or on a turn or ends their turn there. Ignites flammable objects in the area that aren't being worn or carried. Okay. Where are you making it? Just like in the middle of the room?
I want it to be about 10 feet from that chest.
10 feet from the chest. Okay.
Not close enough to burn it, but close enough to defrost it.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it would put off at the very least some like soothing warmth and heat. It would probably like warm up the whole room. So yeah, a bonfire appears in the room. There's a rush of warm air that starts to sort of permeate through the space. The bits of things that are frozen in the room, it might take more than 1 minute, is the thing. But the room would get warm. You'd notice things in the room starting to warm. You probably hear some like cracking sounds from like the bones and like the discarded tissue and meat, and things like that. However, over the course of a minute, the chest doesn't defrost at all. The ice on it, on the corners and things, doesn't melt. And the ice isn't on the seams of the chest or anything. It's not frozen shut by any means. It just has ice on it. However, calm emotions only lasts a minute, right?
Oh
Yes.
So around the same time, calm emotions would wear off first, and then bonfire would wear off shortly after. Basically, if are any of you doing anything over the next minute as you wait on the room to warm up?
The chest looks like it's openable, like without being fully defrosted.
Yeah. It's just
Maki-e would probably have gone over to investigate it.
okay. Make a investigation check.
Not my best thing, but
All right. What are you looking for here?
if there's any traps.
Okay.
Because hearing voices, this place being full of ice, there might be traps here.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So on either side of the chest, you would notice that there are like latch mechanisms. They do appear to be like locked with a key. You haven't seen a key anywhere. But like the seam of the chest is openable. Like if you just were able to unlatch these things, you'd be able to open the chest. You don't see any visible traps. Like you don't see anything connected to the chest that would I don't know, drop something on you if it was opened. You don't see any obvious like magical runes on the chest that would indicate that it might explode with evocation magic when it's opened. Yeah, nothing. Quartz gonna play castanets and help Lucero fight off the charm. You gain the ability to use magical notes or words, power to disrupt mind as an action. You can start a performance that lasts until the end of your next turn. You and any friendly creatures have advantage on saves against. Okay, cool. Good to know. Thank you, Quartz. Yeah, you don't notice any obvious traps. Like there's no. Yeah, you're also looking around the room, I think, too, looking for like recesses where, like, I don't know, dart shooters could hide or pressure plates on the floor, that kind of thing. You don't notice anything like that.
Okay. I am going to turn and look at everybody because Lucero seemed very adamant about trying to get to the chest to open it, right?
Yeah.
That does seem a little suspicious. So I will turn to the others and I will say, I don't see any traps. You think it's safe to open?
Well, I'm just gonna go over to here as she walks over to the entrance of the room, still playing her castanets. And I'll watch you from afar, and you can try it. This is a demon's lair, after all.
If we're worried about something like that, why don't I just use Mage Hand?
Can it lift the lid? How heavy is this lid?
Couple pounds.
We have to break off the key, the lock thing.
Yeah, you don't. You like it. It does look like it would have to break off the lock or something on those latches on either side. Like there's the latches have like a gear mechanism in them, so it looks like maybe a small key would be inserted in each latch and turned to one side. Here's my question to you, Maki-e. Do you touch the chest while you're investigating it?
Probably to see if the lock things could be like broken off because they were cold.
Yeah. So when you're looking over the chest, and you sort of like bring a hand up, either to like rub some of the frost off so you can get a better look at the lock, or to like hold it up to like shield your eyes from a nearby light so you can get better eyes on it. When your hand makes contact with the chest, you see the lock by the latch where your hand is nearest rotating on its own, and you hear like a clicking sound, like it's dialing in to open. It just happens very quickly. As soon as you pull your hand away because you see it moving and hear something, it stops and it rotates back to the way it was. Nothing happens to you. Like you get no like negative effect or anything.
So the key is you put your hand next to the lock. That's too much thinking for me. Lucero, you have the brains. She flicks her ears at you.
Safe to say it's been about a minute at this point.
Yeah, I'm still continuously playing the castanets, and I'm at the entrance of the room in case things go awry.
No problem. Lucero, make a wisdom save with advantage from Quartz's counter charm.
Nope.
That's a fail. Okay.
I was planning on walking up to it anyways, so.
Yeah, you're compelled to open the chest at this point. Maki-e, do you do anything as you see like that same look come over Lucero's face again? You did just say you're to have at it, basically.
Yeah, she did just ask him to come think about this for her. But if she did see, like, he looks like he's not all there or frantic again, she would look at Quartz and be like, I think whatever you did isn't working anymore. And she'll try and get between Lucero and the chest.
Okay.
How much does Maki-e weigh again?
You pick her up and just carry her all the time, so nothing. Nothing to you.
Right, but like specifically, how much does she weigh again?
I think it's 15 pounds. Let me find my thing.
Jeez, that's so light.
I picked the weight of what Flemish lop is and the height that it is, so
How much weight can you carry?
Lucero?
Me?
Maki-e, yeah, if you only weigh 15 pounds, how much weight can you carry?
This is why I have a bag of holding.
Okay, fair enough.
She is just too much for a mage hand to pick her up. So I was just gonna have like the mage hand pick her up. No, she's too heavy for that.
All right, so you're trying to stop Lucero again from opening the chest. You're standing in the way. It's either going to be grapple or hand to hand, I feel like. I'll let the two of you sort it out, but it sounds like you want to stop Lucero.
Yeah.
When
Can I do something mean?
Yeah, absolutely. You're charmed right now.
Because she's so tiny.
Okay.
Can I change to Kintsugi and just reach over her?
I mean, yeah, she'll still get a chance to try to grapple you, I think. But yeah.
But Kintsugi is just shy of 10 feet. She's only like what, 2.5?
Yeah, I'm 2.5.
Yeah. I mean, you can still grapple. What's one size up? I think, right? Something like that.
I mean,
you
by
just, like,
technicalities,
you just, like,
Kintsugi is
grab
still
her.
technically medium. But
she could probably still like grab your hand if you try to reach over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll leave it up to Ella if she wants to do.
She's gonna try and hit you again.
All right.
I know why she's doing it too.
Yeah.
Please.
11.
Hey, it's not a natural one.
What's your AC?
14.
11.
It's a natural 2 instead of a 1.
Look, in my normal action, I get 2 attack. Could I get a second one in there?
Yeah. Yeah, if you get
All
2
right.
attacks normally. Sure. Okay, that'll hit, I would assume. A 28.
If I use shield as a reaction, how does that work?
It bumps your AC up by 5, I think, right?
But
Yeah,
it still
If
wouldn't
you're
work for that.
14, it still wouldn't work for you.
It only bumped me up to 19.
The second time I hit you, the second strike, when I do actually hit you, you have to make a con save. your
Yeah,
DC.
You roll damage for that strike too. Don't forget that.
Yeah, I'm going to. This is non-lethal. She just wanted to try and stun him. Your DC is 18.
Yeah, con save. Okay, you don't get
Dang it.
stunned. So Maki-e punches you. Yeah, and you feel a welt, a bruise, what have you.
In the shape of her toe beans.
She slaps Lucero and is like, snap out of it.
Yeah, we see a red paw print on your face. What do you do, Lucero? You can still open the chest. I mean, you're basically...
That's what they're gonna do.
Yeah. All right. So we see you like put your hands on the chest. You get slapped, and you immediately there's like a slight pause, and then you immediately go for the chest. We see you like put both hands on the latches to open them, and we see the latches turning and lining into place. There's a click as your hands flip the latches up. You grab hold of the top of the chest, and then there's this dramatic pause. If this is like a TV show. And then you rip the chest open. As you do, there's a sound of voices fills the room. Everyone can hear it. It's a bunch of different whispers. They all sound vaguely humanoid. None of them sound like evil or demonic or anything. And what you see, a lot of them are asking for help. Some of them are saying that someone came to save them finally after all this time. A bunch of motes of light pour from the chest. These tiny little flickers of light flood out of the chest like fireflies. And they fill the air. They sort of coagulate in the center of the room. And then they all enter Lucero's mouth. As Lucero's hands fall back, their head sort of lolls back, and their body, while standing there, is sort of slack and kind of shaking as all these motes of light start to fill Lucero's mouth. Lucero starts to put off a glow as this sort of golden light starts to fill the room. Their eyes start to glow this golden color as this sort of radiance emanates from Lucero. What's the best way to describe this? Everyone else in the room make wisdom saves.
I'm loving not being present.
You're just way over there wondering what's taking them so long.
I'm over here well, nobody's
Candor's
coming in. Doing Candace
Candor's
stuff.
just looking
Candace
at
stuff
his,
is my favorite stuff.
That's with advantage.
Candor's
right,
just looking
Quartz?
at his wrist sundial.
Yeah, because of Hero's Feast.
I'm the only one that doesn't get advantage on wisdom saves because I haven't participated in the feast yet.
Okay. Diviners?
Okay.
Were they in the
I'm
room?
not inside the room. No, I'm not inside the room.
You're not watching.
you out-
I thought you went inside to give the torch,
I didn't. I handed it to you.
but I was in the room.
Right outside in the tunnel.
Oh, okay.
So you're not seeing any of this, Abe Flo?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right. Well, the two of you are fine. You're unmoved. However, you are both aware that you have just witnessed some kind of divine event. You feel the presence of heaven in the room. For a moment, as this sort of as they all once all the lights enter Lucero's mouth, you don't collapse to the ground or anything. You feel fine. As a matter of fact, you kind of feel better than ever. Your HP fills all the way back up to 124. You go to full max HP, and you feel good. Like, you don't feel any negative effects. The charm is gone. Any effects on you have ended. Yeah, you actually feel quite good. You also recover all your spell slots. Any missing spell slots you had?
Like he took drugs again.
Similar, yeah. And for a second, you could swear that you're like still hearing the voices talking to each other. They sound happy, elated. You hear them saying things like, "Finally, our suffering is over. This one's come to save us. Rejoice in the light of the fountain." Like, they're saying all these crazy things.
We're all Quartz and Maki are hearing it too.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you hear them too. Yeah, and it kind of like fades over the course of one round once all the lights have disappeared into Lucero.
Can I speak to them?
You can try. Sure.
Try.
Yeah.
Maki-e is very unhappy to hear like they're all just like happy, they say blah blah blah, but Maki-e is unhappy and she's going to tell them or speak out to them. You didn't have to force them to open it. We were gonna open it anyways.
Yeah, I don't think you get a response. You do get the sense that they heard you, but there's no direct response. They're may even get the sense that they're too elated to even care about what you're saying. Okay, so all that happens. The chest is still open, and there's stuff. There's lots of stuff in the chest. There's tons of echoes. Like, the other thing you would notice immediately, like looking at this open chest, is that the inside is bigger than it should be. Like, it almost looks like it extends down into the floor a few feet.
It's a TARDIS
Find
chest.
a foldable hole.
Sorry, what'd you
The
say? Elle?
foldable hole. The portable. I think it's a portable hole that folds up and fits in your pocket.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. I mean, it just looks like it's TARDIS. It looks slightly bigger on the inside. Like, it extends a few feet into the floor and almost like a few feet extra to each side. Like, it's not like crazy bigger on the inside, but it's definitely got some extra room, more than it should.
Can I do like a religion check to see if Quartz can understand what just happened and why
Yeah.
Lucero just ate what?
Can I do one too?
Yeah,
She
Maki
thinks
Maki
just
is
what's eating.
Yeah.
Maki is more worried about Lucero than she is about the chest. But I did have to ask about the portable hole.
Sure. Roll it 20, all right.
I'll roll 1, 2 for the heck
3.
of it. Maki.
I know you said I feel fine. How does my head feel?
Yeah, you feel good. You don't hear voices, you don't hear them. Like I said, it fades. The voices thing fades over the course of like 6 seconds or so once all the lights have sort of entered your body. They don't continue talking. You don't hear thoughts or anything like that. You feel normal. Maybe like just good. Like, you don't feel bad or like something's trying to take control of you or anything like that. You feel like strong and very focused and present.
Are you?
Yeah, you feel like yourself. Maki-e, you're not really sure what just happened.
No.
Lucero and Quartz, it's hard to say exactly what just happened, but clearly there was some kind of exchange here where you maybe freed some trapped souls. Maybe they seem to have like entered your body perhaps, or have used you as a way to sort of like re-enter the wheel somehow. You know for sure that this is a good thing. whatever has happened here, this is a win for heaven, you might say. A bunch of trapped souls were freed and possibly returned to the wheel.
Do we know for sure that those were souls?
Make an intelligence check. Both of you.
So just a regular intelligence check.
Yeah. Lucero too. Oh wow. Lucero, you're not really sure if they were souls.
I ate a bunch of fireflies.
Quartz, you're almost positive that they were souls because the light and everything, like all the stuff you've been seeing so far, it makes too much sense for them to be souls. Like the light kind of looked a bit like the light from the veins, kind of. You do remember being called little lights by that voice when you first arrived here. Yeah, all of that sort of echoes in your mind when this happens, and you're almost positive that these were souls that either were trapped here by these demons, killed in the void, or it could be souls that were cast to the void because of some wrong that they did, because of karma or whatever. Or like some dark magics, maybe. It's hard to say exactly why they were here. But they were removed from the wheel. And whatever happened here sort of like restored order to those souls, at least. And there were quite a few of them.
Lucero, how are you feeling, dear?
Pretty good. Ate a bunch of
Are-
fireflies, though.
And how did that taste?
How did it taste?
I don't know that you really tasted anything. Yeah.
Did it taste like the stuff that they gather in the vial?
No.
Hmm.
You didn't get any kind of like high from it either, or any kind of like memory recall kind of stuff. Like it didn't remind you of anything in particular. You just felt real, like you kind of still do, like you feel sort of like restored, and almost like surreal, and almost like you feel like you're in the right place at the right time kind of thing. Like you feel like this was supposed to happen, sort of. They didn't taste like anything, though.
Quartz is gonna go look in the chest, and while she's doing that, she's gonna turn to Lucero and say, "You realize those weren't fireflies; they were souls, right?" And she looks further into the chest to see if there were any leftover souls.
Yeah, you look into the chest, you see thousands of echoes in the chest first. That's the first thing you notice, is there's just like thousands of them in the chest.
I think when she says that, though, Lucero does like a little eye twitch.
Are you? If you're you, tell me something only we would know.
Something only we would know that's okay for others to hear, or something only we would know that would end up getting me beat?
You can pick. You can whisper it in my ear.
Court, she doesn't like being called the C word.
And what C word is that?
What you've almost called her a couple of times that you usually call stuffed animals.
Suddenly?
I'm not gonna.
Crazy?
It's four
You're
letters.
crazy? Cute.
Maki is gonna...
Lucero's gonna turn around. They're not gonna be witness to this.
No, Maki is not going to, because Quartz was baited into saying it.
Instead, she's gonna hit Lucero.
Yes, she is.
In Lucero's defense, they said they could pick.
She missed.
Oh.
Okay, so who are you trying to hit here?
Lucero.
Luce.
Okay, roll a
For
d2.
baiting Quartz into saying it.
Yeah, roll a d2. 1, you hit yourself. 2, you hit Quartz as Lucero ducks back or something. You like either punch a wall or you punch. Okay, so you punch a wall again. And yeah, you feel
Lucius like barely ducks out of the way.
Yeah. he was expecting it.
Yeah. They like as soon as she started saying the Q sound, they
And yeah, you feel your knuckles crunch on stone again.
So Quartz has noticed that she's like punched the wall like twice now in a matter of like a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Quartz is gonna be like, "Are you sure that's the C word, not like chaotic?" Rocket,
That
why
would
are you
nearly get you
punching
killed.
things?
I punch things.
because that's what she
It's
does.
what I do.
So you just randomly punch walls as we go around?
Yes.
And by the way, that was basically your one free way to say that to her. Next time she will go after you.
Oh, good thing I'm not a wall then. And then she looks further in the chest as she grabs some of the echoes.
Yeah. So yeah, there's
I think I
thousands
deserve some of those, putting my life on the line.
there's thousands of echoes in the chest. You also see a set of armor sticking out from the pile of echoes. It looks like it kind of looks like breastplate armor, but it's on the outside of it, it's got a layer of ice on it. It sort of looks a lot like the ice that was on the chest. And it's sort of like emitting a bit of a cold aura. There is also a potion of supreme healing that you see sticking out from the echoes. And you also see what looks like, and it's sort of just like rolled up and sitting on top of the pile. It looks at first glance like just a mass of like muscle or sinew, like a large, almost like an intestine that's coiled up, maybe. It looks quite disgusting. But then you notice that there's like a stinger on one end. And so on the other end, there's like, along the sort of coil, there's a bunch of engravings where someone's cut runes into it, with either a knife or some kind of blade. But yeah, it's like a long coil of, but actually, like looking at it, you just rolled an intelligence that was really high, right? Yeah. It looks kind of like a whip or something, like a weapon, but it's made out of like muscle and sinew.
If we have the time, can I do a ritual version of Identify on it?
Yeah, you can. How long do you need?
10 minutes.
Sure, you can take 10 minutes to do that. Assuming that
Candor just stands at the entrance for 10 more minutes.
Yeah, assuming that you guys
Look,
want to do it.
I'm used to this one wasting my time.
Assuming that you want to do it right now, you don't have to do it right this second.
No.
How many thousands of echoes?
But if it
are
looks
there?
like a whip,
It's-
Luce will be like, ooh.
It's 10,000 echoes.
Nice.
I love your estimates, by the way.
You know, you say thousands. There's a lot of thousands.
900.
Yeah. There's a wide range of thousands.
The armor is a really nice set of breastplate.
How heavy is
Fine.
the chest?
Well, it's probably quite heavy.
Dang it.
The weight of the stuff in the chest does actually impact the weight of the chest. So it'll get lighter if you take all the stuff out of it. But I'd say the chest is probably like, I don't know, at least 20 pounds.
And the chest itself is magical.
It is magical, yeah, but it's not like a chest of holding. It's just like a little bit bigger on the inside, you know.
I guess I'm not looking at it. I relay it to everyone that I see, and then tell Lucero that we probably should tell Candor and the diviners about what's happened.
Yeah, don't tell him about the money though.
Well, I did tell them about what we saw. What's in the chest.
That was just me. That was just me being a shitlord. I apologize.
What's in the box?
Don't want to know what was in the box.
Did you find your daughter?
Delicious fireflies.
Can I pull out the armor and the weapon and the potion and hand it out?
Yeah, you can. Yeah. You want to hand it out? Sure.
Maki has just snuck in there and has started like grabbing the egg. I mean, there's 10,000, so she'll take some.
Lucero is now giving the chest a wide berth, but has been politely asking for some.
Hey, give me your bag.
To hold it out. You can also give me Candor's share as well, and I'll give it to him when we get over to him.
Fine.
Thank you.
Maki is not going to count it all out like right here and now, but she would try and divide it up 2,000 for each of us.
Okay.
Just to make things easy, and also because it starts with an E, I'm putting it where the Elysium goes. Or whatever it's called.
The Electrum?
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm also going to put it where the Electrum goes for ease of...
So you've given us 2,000.
For ease.
Yeah.
For ease.
E is no longer for Electrum. E is for Echo.
While they're dividing it up, I'm just gonna go and grab the other two. I told Lucero to do it, but they seem too busy.
As soon as she gives Lucero the coin, Lucero's gonna scramble to the exit. So.
Oh, okay. Once Quartz sees Lucero scramble, she's gonna go back to the chest. and help Maki-e with the echoes.
Nice. And you also took all of the other items, right?
Is Lucero still glowing at all?
Yeah.
Am I just a walking nightlight through this place?
No.
Lucero is always glowing.
Touche.
The glowings, the actual like light effect kind of faded over about 6 seconds with the voices.
Okay.
But now that you mention it,
Oh no.
What's your passive, Candor? Passive perception?
21, I believe.
Yeah, I thought it was high. Lucero looks like maybe you just didn't notice it before, but Lucero is oddly like good looking for a human, if that makes sense. Like almost as if like the idea of what a human should look like, if that makes sense. Like there's hardly any wrinkles, perfect blonde hair, perfect blue eyes, like a little too perfect. And almost like if if you were to sculpt a human out of clay. But you're like
Okay.
but it was like a Da Vinci statue, or I don't know, it was a good statue artist from like Roman times, like the David statue, right? Like just a little too perfect, if that makes sense.
Isn't Lucero in a different form now?
The
10-foot
Kintsugi.
form.
Oh, are you still?
No,
Oh, yeah, Lucero
no.
was.
Since it wouldn't actually do anything, I didn't shift.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, there is a sort of like natural glow, right? Like there's no light or anything emanating from Lucero, but Lucero like kind of almost like radiates charisma, kind of, in a weird way. But it's not charisma. Like, you're probably not better at talking people into things or anything like that. Actually, Candor, make an intelligence check.
Oh no!
You're a pretty smart guy. I think you could probably put this together.
I am not a smart guy. I don't know what you're talking about.
You have wits, I think.
Where'd my thing go? There it is. There we go. Intelligence check. All right. Let's screw this up. Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, so
Oh.
it reminds you of something, like this whole sort of like aura around Lucero kind of reminds you of something, but you just can't quite put your finger on what exactly. Like, it seems familiar.
Hey, Lucero. Don't take this the wrong way, but have you been using moisturizer?
You just now noticed? But in all seriousness, no.
You look a little bit funny.
Yeah, I'll tell you about it later here. And they just like, give me your bag. Come here.
Oh God, what? Why?
Come here. Give me your bag.
I hesitantly give them my bag.
And they start dumping 2,000 worth of the echoes into your bag.
Candor's eyes like slowly widen.
And while this is-
he like looks up at you and then back down at the echoes and then back up at you and then back down to the echoes.
And while this is happening, Lucero is very like casually trying to be like, and by the way, there was a chest covered in ice where all this was in, and I opened it up because it charmed me to compels me, like Faith listed, and I ate a bunch of fireflies, which turned out to be souls. So yeah, like they're trying to be very casual about this.
Ah, I see. It wasn't moisturizer. It was souls.
Soul moisturizer.
Maybe they're born with it. Maybe it's souls. Okay. Weird. I'm just gonna go with weird. Is that everything, I guess, then?
Well, Quartz and them are still digging more stuff out of the chest, but I didn't, for kind of obvious reasons, I didn't want to continue to be near chest, so I came keep you company.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Do you want to watch with me?
Yeah.
Cool.
Didn't Lucero ritually
I brought some playing cards.
identify?
We'll do that later.
You can do it now. You can do it
Just
now
takes 10
while you're
minutes.
keeping watch if you want. It's up to you guys.
Would
You just need 10 minutes.
Quartz have handed me the whip.
Yeah.
Cool.
So what are the rest of
So
you
yeah,
doing?
we'll start casting Identify on the whip then.
All right. What are the rest of you doing for 10 minutes?
Probably finishing up dividing up the echoes,
Yeah.
making sure Abe and Flo get their share.
It's like, what can I even buy with these?
I'm gonna remind Maki-e that we do have a mission and she needs to release the poison eventually?
Yes, I'm just waiting for everyone to leave because I wouldn't want you all to get affected by it.
Makes sense. I just wanted to remind you, just in case you had forgotten.
Of course not.
So,
Don't give her any ideas. She might try to eat it.
so Maki, what is you have a daughter or a son, a child?
I have multiple children.
Oh. So, was this one special? The one with Lucero?
It was different. But I'm very proud of her.
Different
And that's all you
how?
need to know.
Different how?
That's all you need to know.
Okay. We'll have this chat later. Yeah, I think they're just gonna. Once we've divvied up everything, we're gonna go back to the rest of the group.
Okay. So, Lucero, after 10 minutes, you identify the whip. I will paste its details in the chat here. This is the name of the whip. Excuse me. Here's this. It weighs 3 pounds. 1d4 plus finesse. It's a finesse weapon. 1d4 plus strength or dex. It also has reach. And here is the description of the item. This long whip-like strand of tough muscle bears a sharp stinger at one end. To attune to this symbiotic weapon, you wrap the whip around your wrist for the entire attunement period, during which time the whip painfully embeds its tendrils into your arm. You gain a +2 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with this magic whip, but attack rolls made against aberrations with this weapon have disadvantage. A creature hit by this weapon takes an extra 1d6 psychic damage when you roll a 20 on the d20 for the attack. The target is stunned until the end of its next turn. As a bonus action, you can sheath the whip, causing it to retract into your arm, or draw the whip out of your arm again. The whip can't be removed from you while you're attuned to it, and you can't voluntarily end your attunement to it. If you're targeted by a spell that ends a curse, your attunement to the whip ends, and it detaches from you. It's a finesse weapon, so strength or dex, whichever you prefer. And it has an extra 5 feet of reach, so it has a 10-foot reach. Yeah. And that applies to opportunity attacks and stuff. That is from Eberron, I think. That's an item from Eberron.
But he got free attunement slots and doesn't mind having a parasite attached?
I can think of someone who could use this. They're not here right now.
No, you're right. Maybe we'll hold on to it just in case.
How heavy is the chest without all the stuff in it?
Let's see here. Let me look up the 20 pounds.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna tell the diviners to carry it.
Well,
Whack.
at least I don't have to.
We could use this for something. I don't know what, but it seems valuable. Is everyone ready?
They're taking out the chest and getting everybody ready to leave. Maki-e is gonna find the best place to set down the jar, which is right next to the dead body. I think it was actually like in the middle here, but
Yeah,
I just
fine.
moved her over to wherever. And she's gonna call out to them like, "You guys should go out the door."
We
See you
go
in a
out the door.
second.
All right, so you guys
Yeah.
leave, close the door behind you, step outside, back in the pit. Yeah, things outside this warren seem to be going on as normal. There's nobody rushing towards the sound of violence or anything. There's nothing seems out of the ordinary outside. So, all right. So you have the poison.
Yep.
you just-
Maki-e will open it up.
Yeah. Okay.
And set it next to the body.
Okay.
She is immune to poison, so she's gonna stand over here and watch for a minute.
Yeah. You.
She's curious about what it does.
Yeah. As you open it, you see a sort of thick gas slowly leak from the hole where the stopper or whatever was. After a few seconds, it starts to pour out a bit faster. It's dense too, so it sort of flows over the top of the bottle and immediately down onto the floor, almost liquid like, as it sort of starts to roll across the floor. When
she sets it down, she probably set it near the head of the creature.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so it's like rolls across the floor in like all directions. The bits of the body to one side are hit pretty quickly by this sort of like fog coming out of the bottle, and you hear a sizzling sound as it sort of like washes over the creature's head and upper body. This sort of like sizzling sound quickly turns to like a cracking sound, and then more of a popping sound, like sticks on a fire, like if you were to put wet wood onto a fire, a raging fire. Assuming you're still watching, yeah.
Yeah, she'll probably back up like a little bit, like slowly as she watches, just so that she could like dart away when she's done watching.
Yeah, you see the as like one of the first things you notice is that there's like movement in the creature's sort of still placid, very dead face, as like you see it almost like veins appearing in the creature's skin where this gas has touched, but the veins sort of move side to side or almost squirm like little eels writhing underneath the skin in between the like plates of bone that cover the outside of this creature. You see something writhe in one of its eyes that's staring past you at the wall. You see something white and worm-like sort of wriggle around in its eye before retreating into the darkness of its pupil.
Gross.
The hands quickly twitch as the muscles in its arms spasm side to side. And just before you step out of the room, you hear what sounds like the flowing of air from a nearby corner, like the sound of rushing wind. And out of the corner of your eye, you could swear you see a like a small dark silhouette, almost like a person wearing a cloak with a hood up. But when you turn and look, there's nothing there. The body immediately goes still as the arms stop twitching. But you see like blackened veins spreading down through the creature's forearms. And then the top of its body basically dissolves to like this dark black powder. Almost like sand, or even more fine than that. That's sort of just like basically lays as like a residue on the like stone floor of the warren.
Mhm.
And that starts to work its way over the rest of the body as you're like you back up.
Yeah. Once the first half dissolves, she'll turn and leave. She watched what happened to the body, so she's satisfied.
Yeah. Okay.
There's some pep in her step as she rejoins the party.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. You get to the door. You open the door. Everyone's standing outside. What do you guys do?
It's really too bad you guys couldn't have watched.
Sorry, we were playing. How are you so good at this game?
I don't even know what I'm doing.
Are you sure you're not card sharking me?
What's a card shark? Is that a new type of monster?
This one has too much luck.
I didn't take that feat. I think Ramblinman would have killed us if we had.
You didn't take the lucky rabbit feat?
Honey, if I had those kind of feet hanging around my neck, what would you do?
Murder you?
Exactly. I value my undeath a little bit more than that.
I don't think that's how that's supposed to work, but okay.
So everything's done, Maki-e?
Yep. You want the details?
No, we can head back. You can give the details to that shopkeep guy.
Was Hans waiting outside too? I think Hans was waiting outside too.
Yeah, Hans was outside.
And was outside, and depending on how long it took them to sell the vial, Mard and Faithless potentially might be back.
Yeah.
Well, we did spend like way more than... we spent at least 12 minutes in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Considering I was able to do a 10-minute ritual.
All right. So you all regroup with the three of them. When you exit, Hans asks how it went. Also, here, let's pull you guys back over. Whoops, that is the wrong screen. Okay, it didn't move you, thankfully. Let's pull you guys back in the city. As you exit back into the pit of perdition. Yeah. So, you regroup with Hans, Mard, and Faithless Sorrow. What are you all doing?
We should head back and tell the... What's the name of the person who gave us the mission?
The Veiled
Alchemist?
Alchemist.
Yeah, that guy.
When Luce sees Mard, Luce is going over and giving Mard a hug.
Yeah, Mard kind of like awkwardly hugs you back. Actually, I think I think Mard, yeah, Mard just gives you a regular hug. That's fine. Like a one-handed hug, you know?
Yeah.
Uh,
And then Luce would move to like try to grab hands, depending on how hands responds.
You try to grab him?
Pull him into a hug.
Oh yeah, he fights it at first, and then he sort of like gives up and just like lets you hug him. Like he doesn't really hug back. He just sort of like lets you hug him, I guess.
Maki is watching intently to make sure that neither of them tries to stab Lucero.
Yeah, they don't like they don't try to stab Lucero at all. But they almost look like they're almost looking at you with like a help me expression on their face. like a mouse who's been caught by a cat and the cat is just like playing with it, you know? Yeah.
Maki does not make any moves to help them.
This is just very much enjoying being alive.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say. You do feel a good sense of like appreciation for life. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense actually. What did he mean by that? All right, so what do you guys do?
As we're walking back, Maki-e is going to walk next to Quartz and say, by the way, I think you have faulty supplies.
What do you mean?
Well, I applied that poison that you gave me to my weapon, and they weren't being poisoned.
Can I do a history check to see if I know why it would not work?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I guess history could apply here.
Or at least know that some creatures are immune to poison?
Yeah, I think history, medicine, religion, could apply. Arcana, maybe.
Maki herself is immune to poison, so she knows some creatures are immune, but she's still pinning it on you.
Yeah.
I'll do the check anyways.
Yeah.
I couldn't have possibly have picked the first 3 creatures to attack all have poison immunity. There's no possible way. Your poison's full.
No, definitely. It must
Exactly.
be faulty.
Have you fought?
Very faulty.
Have you fought demons before, Maki-e?
Yeah.
Isn't that what we fought back when we found her? And she points at Faithless Sorrow.
And how sure are you that demons are not immune to poison?
Can I roll a religion,
Sure.
I'm assuming, for demons? Or would that be something else?
Religion could apply here. It just depends on like how you want to get the information, right? Like it could be a lot of different things that you roll here.
Maybe, I mean, if I can pick something else, I will, because I don't have any bonuses.
What else are you thinking?
Medicine.
Medicine could apply here, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now that Quartz mentions it, pretty much every creature tainted by the void tends to be immune to things like poison. Both like at least the poison condition, but often at times they're immune to even poison damage. Just like they're immune, or they tend to be immune to like necrotic damage. I think, or at least resistant to it. And
Or fire.
Yeah, fire. A lot of them are resistant to fire, and a lot of them are resistant to non-magical bladed weapons. A lot of demons have to be slain with magical weapons.
Maki-e, despite knowing this, her response will be, well, why would there be someone who sells poison and is willing to buy your poison if no one here is able to be affected by the poison?
Well,
Maybe the
wouldn't
creatures
you
outside
think-
the city.
wouldn't you think that's a question for him?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask.
We've never actually seen this guy have any customers, so for all we know, he's a terrible salesman.
He's just like the worst merchant. He gets no business.
Wait,
He's
wasn't
got to
he
be half
recommended
decent
to us?
considering. Yeah.
What? Wait,
What?
One person at a time.
Hans recommended him to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean he's good.
Yeah.
That's true. Maybe they have some deal going on. The alchemist is not a good merchant, but
They have a
Hans will still-
promotional deal.
Yeah.
I mean, I did ask him if he had any customers, and he refused to give any names. So maybe he doesn't have any
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
You're right.
Well, here's the thing. He's got income coming somewhere because we gave it back, but he gave you 1,400 echoes for the poison.
Well, didn't he say he was affiliated with the Enclave? Maybe they're bankrolling him for other things.
Either
I'm
way,
saying he-
I still think you should check your supplies.
Why don't you? I mean, if you really think it's that faulty, you can give it to Lucero. Have
I already
Lucero
used
try
it.
it out. Would you like some more?
I mean, if it
And
works,
then you can test
of
it out.
course. Who am I going to test it on if all the enemies are immune?
Well, if you really think it's faulty,
I don't
Lucero
volunteer.
Can try it.
Candor, they're gonna murder each other.
Look, I expected this.
You think we can
Maki
get
is
Quartz to
gonna-
make us some popcorn before the show?
What's popcorn?
Delightful snack. You get it's like crunchy and buttery, and you always get it before a show, and it makes the show so much better.
Oh, that's why I don't know what it is. Because I don't go to shows. Because I'm always working for you!
Maki is gonna look at the marred hands and faceless sorrow, and she's gonna ask them, and are you all immune to poison?
Marred hands. Let's see. Actually, I don't know. I think tieflings are not immune to poison.
No.
Yeah, so they shake their head. No.
Would you like to be a test subject?
Yeah, they kind of like furrow their brows, and then again, like this time, more insistently shake their heads no, like, oh no.
Maki-e.
Would you like to be my test subject then? You know I can end the poison if it works, but you're
Wouldn't
not a
be the
denizen of
first
this
time,
place.
won't be the last.
Great. Quartz-san, Lucero has volunteered to be the test subject.
Okay. I spend a 4th level spell slot and make one for her on the spot.
I request popcorn as payment.
And I hand her the purple worm poison.
I thought you had the supplies to make it. You didn't say you had another vial.
Oh, I literally like
No, she literally makes
I held out my hand and then it forms out in face.
Oh, you didn't pull out of your bag this time. Okay.
No.
Wait. How did you do that?
You have your
That's Quartz
secrets. I have
specialty.
mine.
She'll snatch it out of your hand and apply it to her weapon.
No, thank you.
Apply poison to fist.
No, she's got the claws.
Oh, you got your
My-
thank you earlier. That's going to apply for the rest of our lives.
Earlier.
Back at the Veiled Alchemist.
Back when you first gave her the first file.
Oh.
So she'll apply it and she will go to use it on Lucero.
Okay.
Lucero just has like this very, very long suffering look as they stand there, like just tapping their fingertips to each other as they wait.
Do you want me to make attack rolls?
They're not
Attack
dodging. They're not moving. They're just waiting for it to come.
Golly. It's the most toxic relationship.
No, I think it's poisonous.
Look, Lucero
There's a difference?
volunteered. I'm just double checking. I can. Yes. All right. So, Maki-e will do it to see if it works, and then immediately use Hand of Healing, spending a key point because she's not gonna flurry of blows to do it, to end the poison.
Okay.
Does it still do damage?
Candor, or
Yeah.
Luce is going to quickly hand Candor their hammer so that way if they fall over, it does not crit them.
I take the hammer. Oh, this is heavier than I thought it was.
Yeah, so here's what was the poison? What it does? Just a second.
Oh,
Oh,
ridiculous.
you have to
amount.
make a DC 19 con save to save versus the poison. And here's for the attack itself.
All right.
I was about to say, does she really need to make an attack roll since I'm not?
I mean, as long as she doesn't crit
Yeah.
fail.
She had to do the damage on you is the thing.
Yeah.
Okay. It was a 19.
Yeah, let me get all of the dice for the
Oh
poison.
god.
Uh-oh.
Just don't go over. Oh, okay. Whew.
Not. You're
I
fine.
was gonna say just don't go over 114 and we'll be okay.
Yeah, and then she'll immediately hit you with the Hand of Healing, spending a key point to end the what is it? Oh, I don't think this has any bonus effects. It's just damage.
Yeah, it doesn't poison them.
Oh, so then never mind. She doesn't need a Hand of Healing you. Well, she will, because she'll heal you up a little. I forgot how much my Hand of Healing does. Let me pull that up. Use martial arts die plus my thing. My martial arts die is a D8, so D8 plus 5. And go down. There you go. She takes 37 of your life force and gives you 8.
So the claws sting Lucero, and then the poison coating the blade starts to eat away at your skin. As you feel wherever she hit you with the claws burn. She does restore some hit points though, and the burning subsides pretty quickly.
Would you like me to hit you some more? For
thank
healing,
you.
not for poison.
As long as we don't get into any more scrapes, I should be okay.
Well, I only need to rest for a little bit, and then I could do more healing.
Maki, are you well satisfied?
Yeah, your products aren't the problem. It's the people here that are the problem.
Okay. Now that we've got that settled, should we go back to meet the alchemist?
Maki-e leads the way, humming to herself about poison.
I'll take my
Alright.
hammer back now, Candor.
Yep, sure. Here you go.
I just like take it like it doesn't weigh anything.
It's like cards and
So,
To be fair with the hammer, I've been training with it for a long time.
all right. So you guys head back to the Veiled Alchemist. Sure.
I'll let him know a job well done.
Yeah, you guys skirt around.
Maki-e
Go ahead.
Maki-e will immediately start describing what happened to the body in detail as soon as they go into the alchemist store.
Yeah, you guys enter the store. You're immediately hit by the smell of strange herbs and aromas and sort of incense, as the Veiled Alchemist is sort of like almost hovering in the center of the room, turns and looks towards the door as you enter, and yeah, you're immediately just like, well, here's what happened with the poison you had us testing. The alchemist almost like nods kind of expectantly, like, yeah, this is what we're expecting to hear. And then you hear a voice from under the hood, almost amusingly ask if there was anything else that you witnessed. Anything strange?
At what point? After I opened the poison? Before I opened the poison? When we were killing them?
After the poison was released, was there any other kind of presence in the room when it overtook the creatures?
Insight to see if I know why he's asking. Or rather, I think I know why he's asking, but
May I do insight as well?
to determine if
Sure.
I should answer honestly or not.
Go ahead, Lucero.
I has advantage. Didn't do any good.
Nice advantage.
It definitely, you can tell by the tone of his voice. You can't really like read his facial expressions, but you can tell by the tone of his voice that he is expecting something else to have happened. And I mean, it's up to you on whether you should tell them or not, but he almost seems more interested in if something else happened than, like, you mentioned that it did seem to dissolve the creature and stuff, and it's kind of like, yes, okay, that worked, but was there anything else?
I didn't see anything.
Yeah, there was a shadow, but when I looked, it was gone.
Is the diviner still carrying the chest?
Yeah.
And it's out.
Yeah, it's out.
Does he
Lucero
react
is
to the chest
being
at all?
careful to be on the other side of the group from the chest.
No, he doesn't react to the chest. Yeah, He doesn't seem to particularly interested in it.
Curious.
He didn't ask for any of the stuff from the place. I mean, he wasn't after any of their belongings.
Right.
Well, we finished your quest, so to speak. Our reward?
Yeah, he nods. He says, right. Well, how much was our arrangement again?
10 empty vials, 1,000 echoes, and a poison that can let you see through the veil for Maki-e.
Yeah, he kind of like bows slightly, and holds one sleeve of the robe out to a counter where the stuff is there waiting for you. The echoes are in a like a tied leather pouch. It's tied with like a bit of black chain to keep it closed. The vial, the potion, is quite small. It's probably about the length of like your index finger, and the about as wide too, to be honest. It's in a little glass vial with like a glass stopper at the top with a wax seal underneath it. It's clear. It's not tinted any color or anything, but you can see that the liquid inside is like Technicolor, like it's a bunch of swirling different colors.
Stuff that lets you see beyond the void.
Yeah.
In my notes, it says a few drops gives you a third eye for an hour, and you can see beyond the void as well as their soul. But if you drink the whole thing, you go crazy. So how many drops are there in it total? How many uses can I get out of it if I do just the few drops?
You do just a few drops, you could probably get quite a few uses out of it. I would say at the very least 20, 25, but maybe more if you were being really careful with it. I tell you what, roll me a D50.
Is there an addition to that just in case I roll a 1?
I'll tell you what, roll me a D30 plus 20. There you go.
1D30 plus 20. 32.
All right. So that's how many uses you can get out of it.
Nice.
As if you decide not to make somebody go crazy with it now.
Yeah, well, you have more of that, right?
Yeah, it nods slightly.
Is it still 50 echoes for your new customer?
Yeah, it says, do you wish to buy more?
Yes.
Surely this is all you would need.
I might need to use a whole bottle on someone at some point. It's better to have spares.
Yeah.
Sometimes she's a bit fast and loose with her poisons.
It says, very well. And it produces another vial. Sets it on the counter.
Just one?
How many would you like?
You did just get another 200 if we split it evenly.
4.
So is that 5 total or 4 total?
5 total.
All right. So 250 echoes.
Well, the one of them was part of the
one
reward.
Yeah, so 200 echoes. Yeah.
And then she's basically giving up her 200 echoes from the reward to buy them.
Yeah, he'll just take it out of the reward that's sitting on the counter before you pick it up. That's fine.
Luce would pick up the money pouch and pass around everybody's cut of the money.
How much did we get?
200.
200.
Each, yeah.
Do each of the vials have 32 uses, or is it different for each vial?
They're the same.
Okay.
What else was part of the rewards?
The 10 empty vials to collect light that you wanted, and then the echoes and her 1 vial of poison. Then she just bought 4 more.
Okay. 10 empty vials. I'm just gonna put that into my bag now. Maki-e, weren't you gonna ask him about the poison? And why he's a poisoner when things are...
Oh, you're
Effective poison.
right. Do you actually get a lot of business? Because it seems like people here, except for them, or did the NPCs come in with us?
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So she'll indicate them. Except for them, they said they're not. But it sounds like most people here are immune to poison. So I was just wondering why you deal in poisons.
Yeah, he says there's much more to alchemy than simple poisoning.
Poison's the only one that's interesting, though.
For you, maybe.
He shakes his head side to side just slightly, and he gestures to the Technicolor vials that you're taking, and he says, you keep referring to this as a poison, but it's so much more. It's a tonic to open the mind. Just be careful not to open it too much. Never know what could crawl in.
Right. So, creatures that are immune to poison aren't immune to this.
Yeah, he nods. And he says, the creatures in the Warren, they weren't immune to the poison that I sent with you either.
Maki is like reaching into her bag of holding, like thinking of buying more.
You have enough.
Yeah, he says, true alchemy is magic in action, in substance.
But do you sell many poisons?
Yeah, he kind of like shrugs and he says, I have poisons if that's what you want.
No. I mean, do you actually sell the ones that you make?
Yeah, he nods, although hesitantly, and he says, should the customer be someone I think wants or should purchase it, then yes. But it depends. Different customers require different things. And some I don't want to give my special brews to.
Well, I'm just wondering if you actually do sell poisons. That means that there's fewer immune creatures here than I thought there might be.
Yeah, he says, again, I can sell you poison if that's what you want. There are many creatures here who also are not immune. Demons tend to have a stronger resistance.
Thank you. I might buy more later. My accountant says I have to wait. She looks at Lucero.
You just pat her on the head. You mentioned magic. Do you know of, or do you by chance have, an empty tome that can be turned into a spellbook?
An empty tome, you say? I might.
They're generally filled with specialized paper, unfortunately.
Yeah, he says, I might have something you can use. Let me see here. He says, vellum tends to work fairly well, although it is quite difficult to find here. But and he's like looking through a old shelf that's piled with stuff. He pulls out an old, quite worn looking book. It's covered with dust. The edges of the pages are very like tattered looking. The book itself is like a leather bound hardback. The leather is quite dark. And there's no writing on it or anything, not even like sigils or anything, or runes or anything on the outside. He opens it up, and it's blank. He flips through the pages quickly. All of them appear to be blank, although like stained around the outer edges, like just darker, almost like smoke damage. He kind of like sighs almost, and then with a thud like shuts the book, and holds it out to you to inspect.
Luce would motion Mart up so that way they can look the book over.
Yeah, Mart will reach out a hand and grab the book and open it up and take a look, flipping through the blank pages, like kind of like shakes her head side to side, like, I don't know, you think this would work? She says, what should I do with it?
That is what you will inscribe your spells in, if that is what you pick.
Yeah, she says, sure. I think this would do fine. I mean, it seems fine for writing. You'll have to show me how to do that.
Of course. How much are we thinking? I turn to the alchemist.
Let's see. What's the price of a spellbook? It's not listed. Why is it not listed? That's a pretty common item, isn't it?
Let me see
like
if it
an
has
unmarked spellbook?
Yeah. I mean, it's an item. Like, I found the item. I just can't find the price.
What's the rarity?
D&D Beyond is saying 50 gold.
I thought, yeah, the cost of putting a spell into it is 50 gold times the spell level, right?
Yeah. Just for the spellbook itself is 50 gold. Essential for wizards, a spellbook within a leather-bound tome with 100 blank vellum pages suitable for recording spells.
Market value. Yeah, okay. I think you're right. 50 gold plus, like, you could sell it for the price of the spells in it too.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think you say how much for it. The Veiled Alchemist shifts his gaze onto Mard, and he says, "This is for you." And Mard kind of nods, and he says, "Is this your first spellbook?" And Mard nods and says, "I haven't learned to cast anything yet." And he turns back to you and he says, 25 echoes.
Luce's face softens and goes, "You're too kind," as they hand him the 25.
Yeah, he like bows slightly. And takes the echoes. Hands you the book, throws it in with your stuff or what have you.
They will immediately pass it to Mard. This is their book now.
Yeah, Mard's immediately like holding it in their hand, getting used to the weight of it, flipping through the pages, feeling them, what they feel like, and then like smells them, and then like sticks it in like a side pouch or something.
Instead of new book smell, it's old book smell.
Yeah.
The superior smell.
Yes.
What's an enduring spellbook, Ella?
It's a common magic item. Let me copy the text for what it does.
The one that doesn't.
I assume it's
destroy.
just really, yeah. Yeah.
Can't be damaged by fire or immersion in water. In addition, the spellbook doesn't deteriorate with age.
Okay.
But
I
it
mean,
doesn't.
baby's first spellbook.
Right?
Yeah, it's fine. You get some. She's literally not even level 1 yet. So
Yeah.
yeah, okay. I see it's from Xanathars. Cool. All right. Is there anything else you guys would like to take care of with the Veiled Alchemist?
Diviners, do you want to keep that chest, or do you think we should maybe see if we can sell it to this guy?
I don't want to carry it around. Let's sell it to this dude. Hey, how much would this cost?
Verifies.
Yeah, you're like, how much would this chest cost?
Yeah.
And he says, I don't generally trade in such things, but I'll give you 100 echoes for it.
Is there any? Can you point us in the direction of someone who would need it more than you?
Maybe somebody in the Crimson Market.
Yeah, he nods. You can try the Crimson Market. The echoing blacksmith may be interested. It does appear to be made from some kind of metal. You could also try the curio collector.
Sounds interesting.
Let's see here. He says, yeah, the curio collector is an automaton. Something to do with Hell's machinist prince. Let's see who else might be that he would know might be interested. He says you could try the puppeteer if you like.
What does a puppeteer deal in?
Desires.
Probably puppets. Oh, okay, that too.
Oh God.
Yeah, like that probably perks your ears up immediately, Quartz.
Yeah. Quartz is like, oh, interesting. What kind of desires?
Well, he's a general shopkeep, but he seems to, rumor has it, that he seems to know customers' innermost desires, as well as their fears, and tends to offer items that promise to fulfill those desires. But do be careful. Some come with unforeseen consequences.
And the collector? You said they were an automaton? What else? What do they deal in?
Yeah, the clockwork collector. Let's see here. They possess a trove of clockwork curiosities mostly. But if you can show that this is a unique chest, they may be interested in taking it. Most of their wares seem to have a life of their own. Some items move autonomously, create patterns, others emit haunting melodies. Many customers become entranced or hypnotized by the ticking, losing track of time in the shop.
Okay. Does anyone else?
The blacksmith he mentioned mostly forges weapons and armor infused with echoes of past battles and forgotten conflicts. Rumor with him is that people can hear, people who inspect their weapons that they get there tend to hear distant cries and whispers of those who once wielded the artifacts. And each item he sells tends to have a dark history. If you can prove to him that there's something dark about this chest, some kind of special history about it, or special thing, magical thing about it, he might be more inclined to pay you more for it. Who else? Let me see if there's any others that he might refer you to. What does this guy deal with? He says if you're feeling bold, you can try the Faceless Collector. Another curio dealer. This one is a bit more intimidating than the previous. The Faceless Collector is a shopkeep who wears a porcelain mask, which the expression on the mask changes at will, and the items it sells are stored within shadowy extra-dimensional pockets, and customers have to reach their hands directly into the darkness to retrieve their purchases. Yeah, I think that's about it. It's the ones that he would recommend you to, anyway. Okay. Basically, like, they're versions of general goods merchants and a blacksmith.
Right. So what do you all think? Are we done here?
I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Unless nobody has the ink we need, I believe so. I wouldn't want to buy him out of his ink stores.
I don't have ink, unfortunately, so we may have to find a different place.
To inscribe spells, you need a magical ink.
Yeah, the shopkeeper's like, this is true.
Oh, I know it hasn't been long, but have you been able to reach out to our friend we asked you about?
Yeah, he says, oh, you mean the scholar? Our friends in the Taboo Enclave?
Yes.
Yeah, he nods and he says, remind me again, what is this meeting about exactly?
Well, we potentially have secrets he doesn't have, so potentially a change of information, potential allyship.
Potential allyship with who? You all.
The scholar. Yes.
Do you have something to offer the scholar?
Secrets?
Yeah, he sort of kind of like turns to one side, kind of faces away from you for a second, and he says, if all you have to trade is secrets, they must be very good secrets.
Luce is, not in a threatening way, but with the head down, is going to set their hammer on their counter so they can have a good look at it.
So the shopkeeper can?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll give him a roll. He rolled a critical failure.
No!
So he thinks you're trying to intimidate him.
Can I use my my inspiration for him to reroll?
Can you give your inspiration to an NPC?
I can't remember for sure. We might have given it to Ishu once, but it's been so long I don't remember for sure if you said we could or not.
I've never seen y'all do it. That's why I ask.
Can you give inspiration to someone else? A player with inspiration can award it to another player. Yeah, usually, so with inspiration, usually you have to call it before the roll is the thing. If I recall. You can't make a roll and then decide afterwards that you want to use your inspiration. You're supposed to be like, I'm using my inspiration on this roll, and then you roll with advantage. Because it's like metagaming a little bit to, to see, oh, I rolled bad. Well, I'll just use my inspiration. Kind of thing. I think that's how it's supposed to work. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
That's how we've been playing it, and I think that's what they say in the book. But I have other GMs who realize that we usually don't spend our inspirations unless
that's a fair point.
So they've changed it. But also in most of the other games I'm in, they're doing a different system where you don't get only one inspiration per session. You have a chance to get more.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a different game that I'm doing that's similar to that, and it's basically normal inspiration cost for doing it at the time, or before the roll, and then if you want to re-roll, it's like 2 inspiration. But that would probably not happen here, so it's just saying that there seems to be a lot of different ways people do it.
Yeah.
We've mostly been doing it where you can't re-roll.
Yeah,
and that's usually what I see.
I've let you use it on Ishu in the past. I think I have. I think you're right about that.
That was after the roll happened as well, because we didn't think about it until after.
So here's what I'll do. I'll allow it this time, but going forward,
Right, because then we know that we could use it on NPCs.
Yeah. You can use it on friendly NPCs if you want to, but you got to call it before the roll.
Okay.
Cool.
Sound fair?
Fair.
All right, so I'll roll again for him.
Oh, look, it's gonna be another nat 1.
Don't jinx it.
There you go. That's my favorite.
Yes.
Yeah. So he looks at the hammer, and he I think he gets what you're insinuating here, which is like, I know things about heaven, basically. Or like, I have this secret special hammer of heaven that does crazy stuff. Don't you think the scholar would want to know?
Well, it's also like giving him the chance to like inspect it a little bit too.
I mean, I guess he can make an Arcana check.
If he's interested.
Arcana check on it. Okay, he didn't roll very well on the Arcana check. I think it's enough to know that it's magical. Yeah, he says, well, if you're going to meet with the Hellish Scholar, you should know going in, you're going to need to provide them with information that they can use. And as a trader of secrets and forbidden knowledge, there is not much that they don't already know, arcane or otherwise. I can set up a meeting for you with one of theirs in the Taboo Enclave, but you should be wary about disappointing them or wasting their time. They would not be happy with such things.
I'm sure we will not disappoint.
When you have a chance, make your way to the Taboo Enclave. You'll search. He says, here, let me generate a guy here. Hello. He says, you'll ask for Veiled in Shadow. Here, I'll write it in the chat.
They sound like wonderful people.
And should we prove ourselves enough, we should be able to go right up to the top, yes?
He says if Veiled in Shadow is satisfied, they'll arrange a meet. Yes.
Very well.
He says, you'll want to know not to give too much about who you are. Their customs in the Enclave, all information comes at a cost. Even a simple exchange of pleasantries, a name. They may not take too kindly to the fact that I've revealed theirs to you.
Your secret's safe with me?
Yeah, he like bows slightly. And he says, let's see here. You can find... Oh. Here we go. You can find Veiled in Shadow at a place that goes by the name Pandemonium Pennies. It's like a shop Not all that unlike this one.
Thank you very much.
Yay, shops.
There you go. Okay. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Anybody else want anything?
Well, we need to find a place to sell this chest. It's a little cumbersome.
You need your ink.
I'm pretty good.
Sounds like either the puppeteer or the faceless curator might have it.
Why don't you lead the way, Lucero? We'll follow you.
Anyone y'all would rather go to?
They both sound creepy.
I have no preferences.
Whichever one you choose works for us.
Mard, which one would you rather deal with?
Which vendor you're asking?
Mm-hmm. The puppeteer or the faceless collector?
Oh, that's a tough choice. Neither has a good reputation. I suppose if I had to choose, it would be the puppeteer.
Do the puppeteer we good?
Yay.
All right, so you guys are going to head to the puppeteer. Oh.
Semi having Hands lead since Hands and Mard and Faithless are the ones who really know where we're going.
I'm just going to be constantly playing a counter charm.
Fair enough.
No, this is the one that deals in desires and fears.
Yeah, but what if that means, like, changing your desires?
Oh, well, yeah, touche. Luce is internally sweating a little bit.
Internally?
How is everyone doing before we head there?
I could use a rest.
Should we
I only
rest?
need a short one.
We can do a
Would
rest.
you like-
I want to change my armor.
Shall we go back to the home then?
We could go check on the 2 dead ones.
It hasn't been a full lapse yet, right? Like you guys have basically just been spending the majority of the day running errands and stuff.
Yeah.
I guess, it'd be a good time if you're wanting to get a long rest in the lapse. Then Cursed and Ruin will probably be restored at that point.
I could take a nap.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go back.
Okay. So you guys head back over to the Warren that Cursed, Ruin, and Mard and Hands kind of use as their home. Yeah, you find the corpses basically where you left them. Sure. What would you all like to do?
Luce would take this time to show Mard the whip that they found, making sure to very much impress that if they don't want to, they don't have to use this whip.
Oh, Mard's very into it. Yeah. Like you don't have to convince Mard at all. Like Mard's like, oh, that's so cool. Yeah, love it.
Loose, before they take the time to attune, is very much going to impress that this is classified as a cursed. If you find out that you do not like this weapon, it is going to be quite difficult to remove it, kind of thing. Like making sure to impress this on her. Just to make sure that she understands what she's getting into.
Yeah. Yeah, she says, yeah, but I don't know, it kind of seems like it was meant to be, don't you think?
I will admit it was in a very convenient area, but I just want to make sure you understand what you're getting yourself into before you attune to it.
Yeah, she nods. And she says, well, if something does go wrong, can you break the curse or whatever it is?
Before I have Luce answer, let me double check. I think I have remove curse, but I want to double check.
Always a good idea to check.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Then she nods and she'll spend some time attuning to the whip.
Before she spends that time, Maki-e is gonna tell her, and if you ever try to hit me with it, I will rip your arm off.
Maki-e, dear, she's going to need a target.
Yeah, she says, how about you let me test it on you?
No, you wouldn't let me test my poison on you.
I did volunteer, though.
When she does go to attune to the item, can I ask Lucero to identify the armor that we found?
I'll do a ritual casting to take 10 minutes.
Sure.
Go
ahead.
But I also Quartz is gonna say, but if you want, we can do it in style. We don't want to. This is sort of a little dodgy area, and then she opens up her magnificent mansion and invites everyone in.
Nice. We're leaving the bodies out there, or are we pulling them in too?
We can.
No, they get left. Quartz, do you really want that blood all over your mansion, though?
I have people who can clean for me.
Yeah, that's true. I'll go get Ruin since I'm the one who cut his head off.
She just opens the door and waits for everyone to walk in.
All right. Oh yeah,
Maki-e
we have a map for.
also...
I almost forgot.
Sorry, Maki-e is also gonna ask for her dagger back now that Mard has a weapon, because she gave Mard one of her daggers before.
Yeah, she'll hand your dagger back.
So stingy.
I mean, she only needs one weapon. Says the one with like 5 weapons.
Yeah. Not to mention how many vials of poison?
Need more.
Okay, let me see here. We had a screen for the mansion, right? Wasn't it the tavern?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. It's been a while since we've used
Was
this.
indeed.
I'm just
Yeah, it's like the
You also got
it's like
booted
the
out of it.
couple of episodes in, actually.
Yeah.
Here.
Grujo was mean.
I will drag you guys.
We were trying to have breakfast.
Drag you guys over to
I think this is the first time Maki has ever seen it.
Yep.
Yep.
Here. Is that it? That's it, right?
Yep.
Oh, this is going to be interesting for Hans and Mart, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's like a nice place. Like it's not.
Also, isn't the scene outside the window technically like around
The
heaven?
overworld, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. So it's like a place they've never seen before. So they're acting like kids at Disneyland, right? Like they're just like looking at everything like, wow. They're looking out the windows and they're like, whoa, look at the roads. What is this place? You know, like they're all like amazed.
Loose would lean over to Maki-e and be like, just let them have their moment, dear.
I'll just don't tell them what they're looking at, and they should be fine.
Yeah, no. No. Don't. Just conveniently don't mention that. Just let them enjoy themselves.
Yeah, they're
Make
like,
yourselves a home. If you're hungry, you can ask one of my servants. They'll make something up for you. And like you'll see on like the side corner, like some transparent servants.
I'm still owed popcorn. I want some popcorn.
yeah, one of the servants is like cooking up some corn seeds or something on a stove in a skillet. In like an
Candor, this smell should be very familiar because it is a smell that you're starting to smell every time you start giving Luce a lecture.
Yeah, there's a couple
Well, that's
popping
weird.
sounds.
And then Quartz is gonna go off to rest. If any of you guys need anything, let me know. I'll alert one of the servants, and they will come get me. And then she finds a room, and goes off on her own.
Before you go off, Maki-e wants to ask how many purple worm poison supplies you have. Like, how many can you make?
Or how many 4th level spell slots do you have?
Maki-e
need them
still
right
doesn't
now?
understand.
Just
No.
ask me for one when you need it, and I'll have enough for when you ask.
But what if I need it every time we fight, and you don't have any more because I used it all?
Well, you'll have to give
I just
me
need
prior
to know how to
notice,
ration.
Maki-e. Don't ask me in the middle of a fight.
How are you getting
Or
it?
do.
You have that much? Do you just have a purple worm on hand?
Quartz winks.
Dear,
And then goes
don't
upstairs.
put too much on it.
But if she has a purple worm, I wanted to see it.
She does not have a pet purple worm.
Yeah, she doesn't say, she doesn't give an answer, and then she goes upstairs.
Oh, you're eating popcorn. Maki-e walks away.
You don't want any?
No.
Or for me?
I'll try some. Grabs a huge handful.
Are you eating popcorn while you're doing the ritual casting?
Yes.
All right, yeah, the casting.
They have like the
for
bowl next to them as they're using the chalk to draw.
casting for the breastplate, right?
Yeah.
All right. So it's a +2 breastplate. Here's the description for the stuff. There's a couple extra effects. Hang on. Let me write them in here. The wearer is immune to being set on fire. Sorry, I was popping
You
my
okay?
knuckles. I was just popping my fingers. And they are immune to exhaustion from high temperatures. There you go. Boom. Is magical. +2.
That's pretty good.
Is it
Loose would be,
attunement?
It is not attunement, I don't think.
What weight class of armor would this be?
Medium.
Medium?
Breastplate is medium.
Okay.
You're
Loose
not-
would be
just
scribbling
keep-
all of this down to give to Quartz later.
Yeah, keep in mind, you're not immune to fire damage wearing this. You just can't be set on fire.
Right.
You can't burst into flames and burn for like a damage over time and stuff like that.
Teach a man to make a fire and he'll be warm. Or no, make a man
Well,
a
there's
fire. I don't remember.
I think there's some spells and stuff that specify if it.
Give
like,
a man a fire,
burns
he'll be warm
fire
for a
damage.
day. Set a man on fire, he'll be warm for the rest of his life.
There you go. But yeah, I think there's spells that will put you on fire.
Yeah.
Like create bonfire.
So this prevents that, which is nice.
Yeah. Just a regular +2 breastplate is regular +2 breastplate is very rare item, so the extra effects probably make it more so. I don't know. It's pretty good.
This is Quartz. And like she's looking pointedly at Maki-e. The
What?
Quartz gets to decide where it goes.
Maki-e's not even looking at it. She can't wear armor.
Well, I imagine Maki-e was thinking like how much it would sell so that way she can turn around and buy poisons with it.
No. She's gone over and she's standing in front of Candor and she's debating on whether she's gonna question him or question Abe Flo.
Run, Candor, run!
Why am I running?
The wife is after you.
Oh, yep, I'm sprinting.
Yes, can you?
I'm hiding.
There's an upstairs
Lucero
here
is
too.
watching while eating popcorn.
Here, Quartz, I'll move you to the upstairs map.
Just to
Hide behind
clarify,
this table.
Rambling, this isn't heaven, right?
No,
Okay,
you're not.
that's what I thought.
You're not actually in heaven. This is a pocket dimension where your mansion is.
Right.
Technically, you could make whatever we see outside the windows anything you want, I think.
Right.
True.
So it doesn't have to look like heaven out there if you don't want it to.
Yes.
We'll keep it heaven.
Make everybody homesick.
I'm assuming you take the master bedroom, Quartz.
Yep.
All right. Awesome. It is a nice room. Okay. So, what are the rest of you gonna do while you're getting ready to take a long rest?
Interrogating
Currently hiding behind a
Abe
table.
Flo.
Interrogating Abe Flo for Ella. You're hiding under a
Yeah.
table, Candor?
Yes, the wife was after me, apparently.
Okay.
My initial target disappeared on me. Well, maybe. we didn't roll to hide, but Maki-e feels like that's too much effort right now, so she's gonna go interrogate Abe Flo instead.
All right.
She's mostly just asking questions like, I think she already got Abe Flo's Arcana, but she's gonna ask how long have you been in heaven? When did you first start serving your arcana? Stuff like that.
I wasn't that long. I wasn't there in heaven for that long. Probably like, do you even count years in heaven or?
So yeah, there probably is like a normal measurement of time in heaven. It's just that it's so easy to lose track of it, right? Like sometimes it's probably not uncommon for someone to get busy with a project or something and then suddenly realize they've been working on it for years,
right,
or tens of years.
I haven't been there for that long. I've been always in the wheel. What else was the question?
So far, that's all. Have you ever been approached by any individuals to ask you to do anything for them prior to our meeting?
No.
Lucy's gonna offer Candor some popcorn while they watch.
Is that a deception?
Hand darts out from underneath the table to grab some.
Approached by what kind of individuals?
Well, like one's asking you to maybe start causing chaos in the middle of your home, or attacking people who are supposed to be on your side. I think both Abe Flo and their homunculus have tried attacking Maki-e by now, so...
We get a flashback to the first session of this arc where it was Nurnum showing up in the wheel, and you have this tent that's kind of off to the side, but before he gets there, you could probably hear the conversation happening outside your tent where there's like a bunch of these other people who are from the wheel, and Nurnum shows up and a fight almost breaks out, and he's like, I'm not here to fight. Basically that whole thing where they call him bad luck and they all that stuff that comes to mind.
There was this Nurnum fellow who gave me an invitation, and that's where I met the rest of these folks.
I already know Nirunamu-san.
Who?
Nirunamu.
What she calls Nurnum.
Oh.
They're just like shouting this across the room. They're eating popcorn as a hand occasionally like darts out.
Do you ever take off that mask?
I did earlier, around when we first met.
Do you take it off during a rest, or do you sleep with it?
Why?
Does it give you any benefits?
Of course.
Like what?
Well, you can't see my face.
Are you hiding something from us?
You've already seen my face.
Other than your face, are you hiding anything from us?
You have to be more specific.
Are you a spy?
No. Are you?
No.
Can I insight
yeah, of course.
Abe and Flo about if they're a spy or not, because they're kind of at the top of my list for suspicious.
Natural.
Since I'm overhearing this, can I do it too?
Sure.
Just for
I'm in
giggles.
there as well.
Yeah, anybody in the room can.
Just from under the table.
Abe and Flo, you can make either persuasion or deception roll in secret, please, to GM only.
I'm sorry.
How do I do it through GM? Is it like the / and then GM?
Or
Yeah.
if you go to your page, there should be a public and to GM option up at the
Oh,
top,
right. I see it.
and then you don't even have to worry about it.
Holy shit.
Just make sure you toggle it back when you're done.
Yeah. Well, that's the reason why usually my first roll or two is always to GM is because I'm usually adding spells, and if I accidentally click something, I don't want it clogging up the thing, so I switch it to GM, and then I forget.
So you clog up Rambling stuff.
All right.
Nice.
It doesn't matter if he sees the spells I'm adding. It just matters if you guys see the spells I'm adding.
No, I do that too.
So I think it's safe to say you're not a spy, right? Diviners, yeah. Yeah, doesn't seem to be being dishonest. Matter of fact, you can read them like an open book. Even if they were trying to hide it, you could see right through it. They're not, though. They clearly are not. If they're being used for some kind of spies or traitors game, then they clearly don't know about it.
Okay.
And that goes for everyone. Everyone picks up on this who rolled insight.
Well, I'll lower you down on my list then. But you're still on it.
Who are the rest of the people that you think are spies?
She'll point up, like, towards where Quartz went. She'll point over where she last saw Candor. And,
Luz is just, like, waving from their spot.
And then she'll point at the door and say, pretty much everyone except Lucero.
I see. Well, I don't think anyone's a spy here.
I was sent to find a spy. Maybe one of you is. Maybe none of you are. But I was sent to still investigate.
How about the Baka Inu that you speak of?
That one too. That's why I pointed at the door.
I see. And what do you do after you find them out?
Well, I suppose first I have to get back so I can make my report.
Okay.
I don't think, out of character, Emma, I don't think Maki-e was given orders on what to do if she found the spy, right? She was just sent to find them?
I mean, the presumption would be kill them. If you can.
Oh.
Or, like, turn them over to somebody who has the capability of taking care of them.
Yeah.
Imprisoning them.
And then I guess she'll add, I might have to do some disciplinary action before I make my report, but it really depends on how hard they make it to find them.
And you're pretty sure your husband's not a spy?
He could never.
Then I'm pretty sure none of us are spies.
You're still new to heaven, right? Then I don't think you know everyone well enough to be able to say that.
Well, I have good fate with my teammates.
Now optimistic.
Call it as you want. But anyways, I'm gonna change into my new armor. You can bother somebody else.
She's not gonna respond to that. She's just gonna walk off.
Hard hands, would y'all like some popcorn?
What's popcorn?
Delicious.
Yeah, they Mard wrinkles her nose and is like, it smells strange.
Don't knock it till you try it.
Yeah, they'll try it. Is there butter on it? Did the servants put butter on it?
Of course.
Okay. Yeah, they try some popcorn. They love it. They've never tasted anything so good. They're just like, how does you get something to taste like this? What even is this? Why is it so delicious? Like, they're just going crazy about it.
Roll a 1d100 or something to see if they get a kernel stuck in their gums. Or
Oh God!
in their gums. This is why Maki-e is not
Evil.
eating it.
Maki-e ate it once, and the very first piece she had, it got stuck right between her two front teeth.
She's
All I
never
want for
trusted it
Christmas is
since.
my two
Since.
front teeth.
Yeah, they're blown away by it.
Knowing them, they're probably like Scooby-Doo devouring it too. So like at some point, Candor like reaches up to get more, and it's just like an empty bowl. It's just kernels.
Yeah.
Hand reaches up, reaches into bowl, nothing there. Pats around.
All you feel is like the little like unpopped kernels rolling around in there.
Picks one of the unpopped kernels up and tosses it at Lucero.
I can get us some more.
Thumbs up.
Yeah, they
Get
like
up
it.
and go over to the county and get some more.
They like it so much that they're like chewing on the kernels, right? And they're like, "Oh, these little hard bits are kind of tough, but gosh, they're so good." They're like really just like blown away. Even the kernels,
You don't
they're,
have
they,
to eat those.
yeah.
Most people don't eat those.
Hands is like, "Well, why wouldn't you?"
Yeah,
You're-
why wouldn't
They're
you?
hard.
They're the best part.
Then you come and eat them. They're gonna get Quartz's servants to make a bowl of popcorn and a bowl of kettle corn next.
Sure.
So salty and sweet.
Yeah. I mean, they'll make whatever you tell them to make, basically. So yeah, they do. Faithless Sorrow is just got ordered a cup of water, and is like not even drinking it really, but just like staring into it. Yeah.
I'll prefer your thoughts.
She just shrugs, and she says, "What's the plan? Are we moving to get out of this place or not?"
I mean, I would like to, but how do y'all plan to survive?
She says, I'll find a way to survive. It wouldn't be the first time I've died, and well, before it didn't take.
Have you seen what the fountain does to those it rejects? or even
It's
heard
not
of what
pretty.
it does?
She kind of like smirks and she says, "You can leave the fountain to me."
That's not terrifying.
Look, Faithless, we're not exactly not on the same boat here when it comes to those in charge. But sure, maybe you can survive, but what about them? And they like gesture towards Hands and Mard. And then up towards the second floor where they've probably dropped off Cursed and Ruin. Do you think they will?
She says, "Are you planning on bringing them all?"
You're going to abandon them here?
Who says they all want to join you? Or leave their home?
They've all sounded pretty eager to leave.
She kind of shrugs and she turns back around holding the like mug of water. And she says, "Cursed, sure. Maybe even Mard. But Hands?" And Hands just kind of looking at her like, eh. She says, what purpose would they leave? Where would they go? What would they do?
Where they wanted.
She looks over at Hands and she says, "Do the two of you even know what's outside of the void? Is that what you want, is to leave home?" And they both just kind of like shrug. And she says, "No, I suppose entering heaven probably wouldn't work out in their favor."
Well, I figured out something works, but it's not going to be pleasant for anybody.
What's that?
They set their hammer on the counter again.
What, you aim to smite us into heaven?
You lot have master imbued weapons? Given weapons?
Sorry, what's the question?
They're saying that they have weapons given by their masters.
Some of them do. I think it was Ruin and Hands. Yeah, that was it.
And then it seems like Cursed has something too.
Yeah, but it wasn't given to her by her master.
Right. But Lucero is implying that the Arcana do too.
Right. Okay. I get it. Yeah.
But they're trying to say it without directly saying it.
Okay, so Faithless Sorrow nods. And she says, so what, you'd have them, trade one master for another?
I don't know if it works that way. I don't know how well it would work. But I know the properties of the hammer. And apparently it works down here.
What are the properties of the hammer?
You go to my master.
Is that exactly how it works? Anything struck by it goes to visit your master?
It has to be a finishing blow. Like I said, it would not be pleasant.
she takes a look at the hammer. I mean, she's not really that good at these rolls. Okay. She says, is that all? Any finishing blow on a creature sends them to your master.
It also purifies the soul.
What do you think that means?
I know it at least means the fountain most likely wouldn't reject them.
Possibly. It's possible that they would be returned to the wheel. What about creatures that don't have souls?
That I don't know. I would assume nothing.
So you smite a few demons and you assume that they were sent to your master to live happily ever after?
Oh, I doubt it's going to be happily, considering what's going on right now.
Maki-e has like a snort laugh at that.
You'll find that the creatures of the void, many have no soul at all. And those that do, well, like myself, hands marred, have had their soul changed, damaged. Purifying it now would change who we are.
That's why I would only want to leave it as a last resort.
She kind of like almost like dismisses your conversation for a moment. She looks down into the mug of water that she's holding. O'Dane, can you make a wisdom saving throw? Yes, O'Dane, please.
Let me find his sleep.
What?
I know you haven't used it in a while.
How hard is Candor hiding from Maki-e?
Can I use my inspiration on this?
You can, if you don't want her to find. I guess, yeah, it's up to you. You can use your inspiration. It's the only roll O'Dane's making this session, so. You're basically, okay. And her DC is...
It is 10 o'clock, by the way.
Yeah, so we'll end it here. So she looks down. She kind of here's what happened. She seems a little bit frustrated with your conversation. Like, she's clearly not very trustful of heaven, and she's not hiding that. Then she looks down into the cup of water for a second. And then you meet it, beat it, O'Dane. And then she, like, in frustration, she yells out, like, why isn't it working? And she throws the mug of water across the room. And it, like, hits the wall and water splashes everywhere. And then there's, like, this, like, tension and silence in the room. And then we cut to credits. And that's the end of today's session. So good job today, guys. Like, you guys did good. You got some experience, so let me award that, and then we'll do shout outs, and then we'll get going. Sound good?
Experience.
Let's see here. Okay, where is our experience list thing? It's in here somewhere.
Combat, RP, lore quest, and cool.
Yeah, here it is. Okay. There is no combat today.
I punched a few things.
Your
She beat
friends.
us out of her husband.
Yeah, your
The
friends.
walls.
Yeah, doesn't count. However, I did say I'd give you the other half of your lore quest XP this session. I've got that in my notes here. So you get 2 for lore quest for completing the quest for the Veiled Alchemist.
I don't know. We got a little bit of Melora lore out of this.
You'll get some other stuff too. We didn't really get to. Did we get Melora lore? Like, we haven't really gotten to the Melora lore yet. We got a hint of it.
Well, she did just tell us that her soul's changed at least.
Yeah, she said that
along with the others.
She said all.
Maybe
of
more
has.
void lore.
She also said that she's
Yeah.
died more than once. She mentioned that.
Well, she's had to at least die down here at least once to shift over to what she is now.
Yeah, maybe there's more to it than just dying here.
Ramblin's got bunny ears again.
Yeah, I guess we lost Ferdy. All good. No combat XP. You'll definitely get some RP experience. I think you guys all did really good with RP today. I'll give you a 4 for RP. Rule of cool. There was a couple cool things that happened trying to get Lucero not to get into the chest. The counter charm stuff you guys were doing. I'll give you guys a 3 for rule of cool.
8 fireflies.
I really like how I convinced Maki-e to poison Lucero.
Yeah, that was funny.
Poor Lucero. Just get abused at every turn.
So I've got 4 RP, 3 rule of cool, 2 lore quests that puts you at a total of 9 for today, which is not bad for a no combat session. And I guess we'll do announcement stuffs, I guess. So I'm gonna get the previous episode of Forest of Flesh up probably tomorrow. I kind of want to be 1 episode behind on the YouTube. It's a good place to be. And then now that I'm basically caught up on videos, I mean, I'm like 1 video behind now instead of like 7. I'm gonna start getting to where the Patreon gets it first. Then it'll be on the Patreon only for a couple days, and then it'll go onto the YouTube after that. Now that doesn't mean there's gonna be a longer delay on the YouTube videos. The YouTube videos will probably get up quicker from the live streams than they used to. But I feel like patrons deserve some exclusivity, at least for a couple days, to get videos first. So I want to do that for them. If you want to become a patron, you can head over to patreon.com/RamblemanTV and become a patron. And what you'll get right now is uncensored, all the videos uncensored. You'll notice on YouTube a lot of those swear words are cut out, especially at the beginning for monetization reasons. General announcements. We've only got a couple for this show. You can join the Discord. It is free to do. And you can take part in talks and lore questions. There's a whole channel for lore questions. If you got questions about stuff, you can ask us. It is free. It is public. You can do that. And you can I think that's all we got now for the time being. Here's my link tree. If you want to find me on other places, you can check out my link tree. Am I missing something? I feel like I'm missing something.
There's no session next week, I think.
There's no session.
I mean, you guys can still play without me if you want, but
yeah, we're probably not gonna have session next week because we're gonna be down in Ella. So I think we'll just take off next week. Oh yeah, I was telling most.
We could do games or something.
Yeah, we could do like a different game or play video games or something. I'm down with that. I'll tell you guys what I told most of the crew before we started today. So it looks like April 23rd we're gonna need to take like a month off ish, a little less than a month from this show. So I was thinking maybe we try to finish the campaign out by then. So just throwing it out there, Force Flesh campaign might end by or around April 23rd. If you want to make sure you're tuned in for that, we'll be here every Monday, besides next week, to do that.
That's just for the Heaven arc, though, right?
Correct. Well,
Heaven arc end, not complete campaign.
Heaven arc in hell.
Yeah, it's the end of the campaign. Because, so we've got plans to do another game after this. But it'll be called something else. And it'll be the same world.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. It'll be the same world. It'll be some familiar characters, some new ones. I don't want to spoil too much because I really want to put a lot of prep into this, and production value. Hopefully, ramp up the production value for stuff on the channels. So keep an eye out for that, for announcements and that kind of thing. But little teaser for those who pay attention to the show. It's gonna be probably called Circle of Wrath. I'll tell you that. If you know what that means, you know. You've probably been watching this show a long time if you know what that means. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. You can check out Broken Wednesday. We'll be back with some more sci-fi tabletop RPG stuffs Wednesday for Broken. We've got Caitlin back in town and stuff, so we got the full crew there. It looks to be good. Can't wait for that. And that's all I got right now. There's also some more projects in the works, so stay tuned. Anybody else got anything?
No.
All right. Well, thank you guys for playing. Awesome playing with you guys as always. Thank you guys for watching. Everyone have a wonderful night and a wonderful week, and we'll see you next time on Force Flash. Bye, guys.
Bye.
No.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.